Hello, this is the Watchdog. Welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Wishdoit 9987. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Humpbuck 2301. I just reviewed this watch, so if you haven't seen the review, be sure to check it out. And Greg was wearing my Offense 1303. Grego said that Princess Leia is really getting into the Life Day holiday spirit. Just the other day, he heard her tell Han Solo if he came home at 3 in the morning again, she would roast his chestnuts on an open fire. All right, let's take a look at the watch. It came in the exact same style of box the last Wishdoit I had came in. So here it is. And that's a pretty good looking watch. So far I've been very pleased with it. This is the second Wishdoit on my channel. The first time Wishdoit reached out to me. Unfortunately, that review is sitting at a whopping 378 views, so Wishdoit hasn't sent me anymore. So I bought this one on AliExpress, and Wishdoit has nothing to do with this review other than making the watch. When I first unboxed this 9987, I thought they were going for a Breitling Super Ocean look without that ridiculous minute hand. One of my viewers corrected me, and this is indeed an homage to a Zodiac Super Seawolf 53 compression diver. Say that 3 times real fast. I don't know very much about Zodiac, which explains the original omission. This watch comes in 3 different colorways, all with black bezels. I chose the James Cameron style gradient dial. You can also get a white dial with light green accents, or you can get a black dial with Botina accents, although they call it sand. The watch is 40 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, but as you can see, the bezel slightly overhangs the case. It's 47.7 millimeters lug to lug, but it has protruding end links. It's 12.2 millimeters thick with a flat crystal. Has a 20 millimeter lug width, which tapers down to 16 at the clasp. And weighs 144 grams on the supply bracelet with 2 links removed. The bezel is a ceramic 120 click unidirectional, and the action's really good. It's stiff enough that you're not going to knock it out of place by accident, but not so stiff that it's hard to turn. So I like that. Then it has a 30 here, then batons everywhere else. And this is the same style as that Zodiac that it's homaging. And as you can see too, it has a very distinct ascension phase. It has these little arrows here, and I don't know what they're for. So I guess I would have to look at the Zodiac page and see why they did it. Although I noticed the Zodiac only goes up to 15 minutes, where this one goes up to 20. Then we have the dial. We have this chapter ring with the minute markers, and this chapter ring is actually lumed. And then we have the dial. The dial is a gradient design, and it looks kind of like a Rolex James Cameron Deep Sea. And it even has the green automatic there, where the Rolex would have Deep Sea and green. So that's kind of nice. We have the Wishdoit logo up top, and then it says 150 meters. So yeah, you don't get a full 200, but you get more than 100, which is fine. You're not going to use this to dive anyway. And then we have the indices, and they're applied. And we have thick batons at the 6, 9, and 12, and squares everywhere else. Then we have a date at the 3 with no border. Well, I guess there is a border, but it's a painted on border, not a metal border. Then we have the hands. We have stick hands. We have the minute hand, and then look at the hour hand, though. It's sectored. And then we have a square lollipop second hand. And everything's loomed, and the lume's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. And the bezel's lume, though, and the bezel lume's quite impressive. You'll see that later. Then we have a sign screw-down crown. The crown's a little thin, so it's kind of hard to get a grip. But once you do, though, it unscrews just fine. And when you go to screw it in, it catches right away, and you don't feel a lot of resistance in the threads, so that's good. Then we have the crystal. Crystal is flat sapphire. I don't know if it has AR coating or not, but it does a pretty good job of not reflecting, so I think it does. And then we have the case. The case is very well done. It's brushed on the sides, brushed up top. It has this polished chamfered edge. I prefer a brush case to a polished case, and having a nice polished chamfered edge though does add a little bit of class to it. So I like that. They did a good job with it. The shape is good, and it wears nice and flat on the wrist, and it's not too thick either. And then we have the case back. And as you can see, we have a sailing ship. So it says water resistant, 150 meters. And it says automatic sapphire AR coating. So yeah, it does claim AR coating, all stainless steel. And as you can see too, this is a screw down, but it's a coin edge. And you will need a 30.5 millimeter case back opener to open it. Underneath the case back is the good old reliable NH35 movement. This is made by Seiko. It's a 24 joule 3 hertz movement that hand winds hacks, has a bidirectional rotor, about a 40-hour power reserve. This is the go-to workhorse movement in watches in this price range. It's very reliable and very affordable, and it's just a great all-around movement. And so we'll go ahead and put it on the timegrapher anyway, because it makes a good break in the review. Here it is on the timegrapher. As you can see, it's running about 2 seconds slow. So it's very accurate, and there's a 0 right there, but wow, look at that beat error. We have 1.7 milliseconds of beat error. That's why you see 2 very distinct lines on the screen. And so, but man, it's running very accurate though. So I guess if I had a choice between accuracy or beat error, I'd take accuracy any day. I have the lift angle set to 53 degrees, and so the amplitude's at 270, which is a little low, but not horrible. But yeah, that's some serious beat error there. The bracelet is a 3-link oyster style. We have solid end links, but they're protruding. Although since this is a 40 millimeter watch, inverted end links isn't that important because it's still not going to wear that big. We have brush center links, not polished. I prefer brush to polished. And we have push pins, not screw pin adjusters. I'm perfectly fine with push pins. I think they're just easier. And then we have a signed oyster style clasp, and it's brush 2. And one thing I noticed though, the little end here is kind of difficult to pry open because there's not much of a slot here to get your thumbnail underneath. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's just a little difficult, kind of annoying. And then this clasp is signed in the middle, Wishdoit. And then we have your basic micro adjust. This is not an on-the-fly adjustable, but we have 5 notches here, so you can get a pretty good fit. And as you can see, I have it set right to the middle there. And there is no easy link. Unlike a lot of these clasps have the easy link system where you can let it out just a little bit. This one does not. Here's the watch at my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks and wears nice. I like that. Sits nice and flat. I removed 2 links, which might make you think the bracelet's a little short, but it's also halfway down the clasp because it came set halfway down the clasp. So if it would have been set to the end of the clasp, I would have had to remove 3 links. And since they already had it set halfway down, I didn't feel like letting it out any. So yeah, you can probably wear this if you have an 8.5-inch wrist, no problem. But yeah, it's very comfortable, looks nice. Here we are in the lume room. This watch has a fully lume bezel and a lume chapter ring, so it is already ahead of much similarly priced competition. As we speed up the time, we see a pretty good glow of blue BGW9. The bezel is excellent and is surprisingly even, as most lume bezels I test are all over the place. The lume chapter ring is an afterthought that is soon gone, but who cares anyway? Unfortunately, the hands aren't as strong as the bezel, although they do have a decent amount of legs and last a bit longer than one would expect. Too bad they aren't as good as the bezel. What I like about this watch, it looks and wears nice. I like this gradient dial. I like this excellent fully loomed bezel with great bezel action and no back play. What are my gripes and groans? The hand loom is not as good as the bezel. The clasp can be kind of difficult to open. And it has a coin edge case back, which means you need a special tool to open it. And there's some serious beat error to this NH35 movement. Do I recommend this watch? Sure. It is a nice looking NH35 powered dive style watch that looks and wears great. And it's very comfortable and has a really nice case. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Wishdoit 9987, and I will be back with another review or unboxing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a tiny commission. But they do add up. And once again, my next goal is when I cash in my next round of commission money, I'm going to want to get a Steinhardt for this channel. Bye.